Would I be the asshole for asking my girlfriend to shave her cha-cha?
Cha-cha.
Real smooth.
Yeah.
Cha-cha, real smooth. Which maybe is why he called it that.
I don't think I've ever heard that.
So here we go. 8 months ago, I started dating this lovely, lovely girl. And we've been going super strong since. We've been on vacation and met each other's parents and are genuinely just very happy in each other's presence. The only problem on my side of the relationship is that she doesn't shave or groom her down under region. She actually doesn't shave at all, which I'm cool with, but for whatever reason, pubic hair turns me off. I don't want her to think that I'm not sexually attracted to her, but I would just be more so if she did shave. I guess for context, I manscape every 2 to 3 weeks, so my George W. is under control.
Why does it sound like it's a news reporter trying to be super
Funny?
vague and
Also, what the fuck is a George W? I've never heard a guy call his dick a George W. Since when? So he goes on to say, and I wouldn't be asking her to do anything I don't do. And I also think just simple maintenance would probably do it for me. I don't want to offend her, and maybe she has a reason for it. She's definitely a bit of a hipster, so I would say that it kind of fits her aesthetic. So I guess, is there a way for me to ask her such a personal question without coming off as an asshole?
if I think about myself in this situation, I can feel how it would be a sensitive subject to approach.
It is. It definitely is. Body hair choices are very personal to the person. So asking them like, hey, I don't like your body hair. Can you shave it for me?
Yeah.
It's it's an aggressive topic to bring up.
Well, and I would be curious about ways to bring it up that might be a little more sensitive to the situation. But how do you tell someone, hey, I'm not really attracted to this, and I know that this might be something you prefer? It's just it's a weird subject.
Well, and I think the way to bring it up too is just, there's a lot of reasons for not shaving. I think ingrown hairs are one of them. Like for me, I just got waxed because I get really bad ingrown hairs whenever I shave. And I think a lot of women, there's also like a tip where if you get really bad ingrown hairs, but you just want to like trim up everything, you shave in the direction the hair grows.
Yes, but
So you're not shaving against it, going like super low in the follicle. You shave in the direction it grows. So that helps. But maybe that doesn't for her. So there's so many reasons she could choose to not shave. I think the easiest way is just be like, hey, I have this personal preference. I'm kind of realizing this now that we're getting more serious. I prefer more trimmed. But if this is something you're really into, I'm not going to try to change you. I'm just curious if there's, a reason you don't shave.
yeah, that's a good way to do it.
Because then there's other options.
Well, and I almost feel like right after you said that, I almost feel like she's going to be like, oh, okay, cool. I'm down with that. A part of me feels like that might be the case, but
There's always the flip side.
yeah. You almost, when you're in a relationship like that, you have more sympathy to just learn to be okay with it. I think that's a situation in which it will not turn into a big detrimental thing to the relationship. Mm-hmm. If there is something like that, or even if that's how she prefers it.
But maybe it could though. Because what if it comes to like oral sex? It's like if you're not into a full body hair down there, like oral sex then becomes, you're not going to want to do that. You're not going to be interested.
Yeah.
But I think it's just like, it's a conversation to have, like see where she lines up. The overall vote on this thread was actually asshole, which based on his post, like, I don't think it's an asshole at all to like.
I think he was being very sensitive to it.
Yeah, I think his comments were a little weird. I think he was trying to be funny. Mm-hmm. Top comment: if you do talk to her, for the love of God, don't say cha-cha.
Truth.
And OP comments back: I was just trying to be funny in order to get more engagement, but now I feel like a proper wanker.
Yeah. Well, that's what the whole post feels like.
Yeah.
Is just to play into the Reddit, right?
Yeah, but like everyone like was like, you're the asshole, and I'm like, I don't think you're the asshole. Like I truly think like not the asshole at all. Like have the conversation, because if it's obviously intimacy and sexual relations are really important in relationships. And if you're not lining up on
Right,
that,
right.
like you're not going to unless you can communicate what you like, what your needs are. And sometimes even when you do communicate that, it doesn't work. So communicate it first to see if you can line up.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the way he approached it was very mature and respectful. I get the playing into the Reddit whatever it is.
I just trying to be funny.
Yeah, and just
Yeah.
to try it.
George
But
W. I still don't get.
no. But I do think he is genuinely looking for real answers to
For
say,
sure.
how can I approach this? Which I think you had a really great response for. But since you're so opinionated with body hair, I'm just curious what your take on what you prefer is.
You already know, babe.
I know, I'm just
We've
kidding.
been together for almost 2.5, 3 years. I'm starting to like body hair more on the chest.
Starting to.
I don't like body hair on me personally, and that's just me.
Okay, but it's
But
the
I have
whole,
a lot of body hair. I'm
Right.
gonna get lasered. I just want to get lasered.
But the whole Zac Efron thing with the documentary.
Oh, he looked great. Zach looked great. I loved that documentary. Great documentary. Which I've literally pulled up pictures side by side of the two of you. I'm like, you look like a chest hair and all. I love it.
I like the documentary for like actually
Educational
what it spoke
reasons?
about,
I liked the documentary for the educational reasons, and Zac Efron looked good in it. But
I think there was an overwhelming response to, oh my God, he looks so good.
Yeah.
It's so much better. Wow, he's like more natural. And it was like not like the dad bod thing, but almost to where it was like,
he wasn't the shaved chest young boy.
right. And
Yeah.
I think when you are growing up as a male, you encounter these times where you're like, I need to do something about this, right? This body hair or whatever. Your only reference really is either what your super immature friends that also don't know what's going on are saying,
Yeah.
or what you see kind of in TV shows and movies. And you see this like just bare skinned, almost like there was never hair ever.
Never.
And
That was probably waxed.
yeah, but
Like
you
there was nothing.
right. And so I think you go through these phases growing up and I'm sure it's the same for females in a certain
is.
sense, but
Oh my God.
just from a male perspective, I kind of remember the first time I was like, okay, I need to do something down there. I don't know how. And fortunately, we grew up in the age of the internet where on YouTube, there's literally people that have made videos where it's like
Everything.
how to maintain your body hair as a man, how to maintain your body hair as a female. There's these great resources, but you're still kind of confused as you go through it all.
Oh my God, because a lot of parents aren't comfortable to have those conversations either.
True. I feel like it happens for different people at so many different times and
For sure. Puberty hits.
right,
So
it's
different.
just right. So I kind of remember when I first got hair kind of through my stomach and chest area. And I think almost up until sophomore year of college, I would literally take not even a buzzer razor. I'd take a razor and shave
Oh my
all the way.
gosh.
And it took so long and it took so much effort because it's a lot of area.
Why did you do that?
You think about doing your legs because that's what you think.
It's socially normal.
Well, that's what you
Especially-
think is attractive.
Yeah, in the High School Musical phase too, or like,
Yeah.
I mean, well, and it's crazy too because like you see models and everyone on TV, like even Chris Hemsworth in Thor, like no body hair, and
Mm-hmm. Right.
it's like, but that's not realistic for a majority.
It's
of
not the norm
people.
at all.
No, and I don't. This was a conversation we actually had when we were watching the Zac Efron documentary, and you're like, you like that? And I'm like, yes. This is why I tell you I like your chest hair. Like, I think it looks good. It feels good, but I think shaving genitals is like a different thing.
Yes, totally different.
And
I
so-
was segueing.
Yeah, no. I totally get where you're going, and I think I really like people that be natural up top, but then I'm like, it's just different when you go, to do things like a blowjob and you're like, there's just hair in your face.
Yeah, no, that's a different story.
Yeah. So I really feel for Cha Cha Boy here. I'm like, I understand because I think maybe some of us have been there. And if you haven't, it's just BJ's with a bush or it's a different thing. It's not my personal preference. We'll put it that way. You should be able to talk to your partner about your preferences and what you like and what you don't like. And at the end of the day, wow, that might be the first time I've said it this episode. I typically say it a lot. Apparently there's a drinking game going around every time I say at the end of the day.
What?
Apparently.
Oh, I want to try this game.
I've been told. We should listen to an old episode and try it.
Or I'll just do it as we're on here.
Oh my God, that's actually a great idea. That would motivate me.
Then anytime I pick up my drink, you're like,
yeah, that would motivate me to not say at the end of the day so much. But with Cha Cha Guy, I think like you need to have those tough conversations with your partner sometime.
Yeah, I think when people ask what's the most important part of a relationship, most people will say trust. My mind, I think I tend to lean towards communication because I think trust stems from communication.
Yeah.
I think communication's king. And I feel like if you cannot communicate, then it's just not right.